Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to just teach you how to take an OnShape model and send it to the 3D printer. There's 5 steps. Step number 1, export to STL file from OnShape. So let's go to OnShape and find the model. sheltonschools.onshape.com, where you need to be. Sign in with Google, and you will see all of your models here. I clicked on Documents, and this is what you will see. All of your previous work. And for you, it might just be a keychain. So here it is. This is what I want to send to the 3D printer. So the first thing I need to do is export an STL file. So in OnShape, I'm going to right click on my part and choose Export. Now, the file name, I'm going to change that. Make sure you change that to something you'll recognize. Keychain. Format STL. Binary is okay. The units, this part's really important. Yours might say inches, and that's not going to work for the 3D printer because 3D printers are in millimeters. So we're going to go to millimeter. Even if you modeled it in inches, that's okay. But when you export it, it needs to be exported in millimeters for the 3D printer. And we want to download it. So I click OK, and it downloads. Now I found it in the left-hand corner, and I'm going to right click and show in folder. Okay, here's my keychain. And I need to go to my second step and open it in Cura. First, I'm going to open Cura. Maybe you've never done it before. So the way to get to Cura is hit the window button and type Cura. Click on the app, and it's going to ask you a bunch of questions the first time you open it. Okay, here we are. Go ahead and click Get Started and agree to this one. Click Next and then skip. We don't need to create an account right now. All right, now we can add our printers. The ones that we're using in class are non-networked printers, and they are Creality 3D, and we're choosing the Ender 3 printer. Right there, click Next. And now that Cura knows what printer we're using, we can skip through all these and finish. Now we have a picture of our 3D printer envelope. This is the area where we can place a model to 3D print it. So the next step is to import our STL file to Cura. So let's go and find our STL file. Here it is in my downloads folder. So before I do anything else, I'm gonna move this to my OneDrive, Intro to CAD, and make a folder for Cura. And paste. Okay. Now I'm going to import it into Cura. So I click on the Open folder, look in my OneDrive, find my STL file, and import it. There it is. It should be a yellow looking keychain, and it should look the same size as you modeled it. Even if you modeled it in inches, as long as you exported it in millimeters, it should look right. Okay, before we click slice, we need to change a few settings. So drop down the settings and click on custom. Under custom, we're going to change the quality to 0.3, and we're going to check the infill. 20% is okay. You never really want to go higher than that. And you don't really need to go much lower either. So 20% is a good number. Speed, you could try changing this if you want to make it finish a little bit faster. You could change it. So maybe 60 or 80, but don't go too high on the speed. Support, we don't have any overhanging parts here where it would need support material, so we can leave that unchecked. And build plate adhesion. Skirt is okay if you want to make sure it sticks to the bed. You can choose brim or raft, but today we'll leave it at skirt. Since we have a nice flat keychain, it'll stick very well. And now I click slice. This converts the STL file to a G-code file, which is the coordinates that tell the 3D printer where to go. It's going to take me 58 minutes. I'm okay with that. So now I'm going to save it. And this is my last step here. Save it to OneDrive. And I've got my G-code file here. All right, now to get it to the printer, I've just saved it, but I also need to save it in another place. So save it on OneDrive, and then also save it on an SD card. So you're going to walk over to the printer and get an SD card from an open printer, like a printer that's not being used, and you're going to save it on that SD card. All right, I got an SD card from a printer that wasn't being used, and I can see it has number 3 on it, so it's printer number 3. I'm going to save it on this SD card. There's 2 ways to do this. You can try plugging it directly into your laptop. On the side, there's a little slot. If that doesn't work, you need to go get an adapter and plug it into a USB port. So let's try the laptop. Okay, plug it into the laptop, and I'm going to see if it shows up on my computer. Click on my computer, and there it is. It showed up. That's good news. If it didn't show up, you can come talk to me. I'll show you where the adapters are, and you can use that instead. So let's go back to Cura. We already saved it on OneDrive. Now we have the option to save it to a removable drive. That's the SD card. So let's save it there. Save it to removable drive. Before we eject it, there's one more thing to do to keep it organized. So let's go back, open that SD card, and here we have some files. There's my keychain. I want to right-click, cut that, and put it in the folder for this year. And this is period 4. And I'll make a folder with my name. Right-click, new folder, Mr. F. You can put your name there. And right-click and paste. Now you have your G-code file on an SD card. So we're going to take it over to the printer. Right-click, eject, and now I'm ready to go start my print. So I got my SD card. It's got my G-code file on it. I'm going to walk over to the printer and get it started in the next video. Good luck.